Hey, how's it going? This video is going to be really hard for me to do, but I feel like I really want to do it, so I'm going to. And my name is Jeff. I am an Army veteran. I am a guitar teacher now, or I have been for like the last 7 years. But before that, I was dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder in kind of a major way, and I was in denial about it for a while. One of the best things I found that really helped was playing guitar and playing music in general, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Um, Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking. Um, Music does help. It can help. There's been a lot of studies that playing guitar can decrease hyper arousal, being fidgety all the time, being nervous all the time, being paranoid all the time, feeling like people are staring at you or they're out to get you and they're not. But I know how it feels, the paranoia and the endless sort of tension. There's always tension when you're dealing with trauma. And you should deal with it. You have to deal with it. You need to deal with it. It's like the really common saying that I found to be very helpful. Mental health is not your fault necessarily. Certainly in dealing with trauma, but it is your responsibility to get better. And hopefully you want to get better. I did. And I think I have over the last decade or so of dealing with it. But yeah, I think the biggest thing with playing guitar is that it makes everything quiet. It makes everything go away, I can get lost in that resonance forever. And sometimes I just don't want to feel anything else. Other than everyone's favorite chord, the C add 9. Just sounds like sunshine to me. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of research that shows music therapy, listening to music even, can help reduce symptoms in people. So I think it's really important to try. And also, I want to mention some things because I know a lot of people feel like they aren't allowed to have post-traumatic stress disorder. At least this is something I went through, because what I went through wasn't bad enough to have it, and there's a million excuses. So then it's not a good thing to do, because then it can kind of fester, and then it's going to get worse before it gets better. Sorry, I just have my script over here that I'm not really following, but just to keep me from rambling too much. Some things about playing guitar that can be helpful: use both hands. So you got bilateral stimulation, so that's good, distracting from. Maybe distracting is not the best word, but getting like some kind of peace or engagement with just something different. It requires attention and motor coordination. And you don't even have to be like playing anything amazing. Like, for example, if you've never played a guitar before and you just take your index finger and you put it on the 3rd fret of the thinnest string, the high E string, and you just play these 3 strings. It's a G chord. And then you can just move that finger around. You can already make a lot of cool sounds just doing that. So you don't have to, go crazy, or don't feel like you can't do it, Creating art externalizes internal experience. A lot of this stuff is really hard to talk about. A lot of it you don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about it. I mean, I do because I'm making this video, but I don't really want to go into detail about it. But with music, you can really express things that are very difficult to say, I think. Especially diminished chords, Those have a nice dark sound. It also helps give you a sense of agency, which I know a lot of times can be lacking. And thank you for continuing to watch this video. I know it's been going on for like a while now. Learning guitar can do a lot of things for you when you're processing these types of feelings. It can build, mastery. It gives you control over something you can have absolute control over, is your progress and the sounds you make and the sort of things you want to hear, and the ideas you can put to the fretboard and put into music and put into sound. And there's a lot of real research behind this. I'm not going to post a bunch of it or anything. You can look it up if you'd like to. But this isn't just, me deciding that this is real. And once you can play an instrument, you can play with other people too, and that can be really satisfying. And the most important thing, I think, is talking to someone. If you feel like, even vaguely, you might have something's wrong, you know. And chances are, if you're still watching this, something is wrong, I would think. Or maybe not. Or maybe you're just having fun listening to me talk about this, which in case I do appreciate that. Sorry, I'm still referencing my script here. I'm not very good at, well, I shouldn't say that, I guess. I am inexperienced making videos. Maybe I should edit this down so it's not so difficult and not so much of me just scrolling through all the little notes I have here. And of course, I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice or anything. This is more just like a friendly chat, you know, with I was gonna say a stranger, but I guess I'm not anymore. I told you my name. You can see my guitar. You can see my tattoos and stuff. You can see the PA speaker back there. Now we're like connected. It's like you're in the room with me. Yeah, I was gonna talk more about things that it can do, but I think I kind of already have. What I will talk about now, and this is I've been rambling because maybe I don't want to talk about this. I had to write it down because I have a hard time just saying it off the cuff. So I thought it would be easier if I could read it off a script. I used to be afraid to go to sleep every night for years, and it was really hard to deal with. Yeah, and it was real. Every night it was horrible nightmares. I'd be back in the military doing, I don't want to talk about what, but yeah, it still happens sometimes. Not as often, definitely not as often, maybe like once or twice a year. And I can deal with it now, but it used to be really, really difficult. When I was in college, I was in college on the GI Bill, and when I was going to class, sometimes I couldn't go to class. I would just sit in my car and just kind of like feel this endless anxiety that I didn't know how to figure out. I was going to school for psychology, and that kind of helped too, studying these types of things. But this isn't really a psychology video. This is just me talking. And just general, you know, feeling angry and you don't know why, feeling intense paranoia, feeling like everyone's against you, which isn't true. I should say again, I really don't think that's true. But it's something to think about. If you're feeling these types of ways, playing music can really help, or just talking to someone can really help. And playing guitar didn't fix it, but it gave me something else that I could focus on. And maybe this is just me giving context to why I've been making these videos. I mean, a lot of these videos are just me playing guitar, talking about theory, and that's going to be probably most of what this is. But I think since this is something I'm going through or have been dealing with, maybe it could be helpful for someone else to hear about or think about. Oh my God, I've made it through this whole thing without totally losing it completely. So that's an accomplishment, I think, for me. I guess I want to conclude by saying that it's okay to need help. It's okay to talk about getting better. And it is going to get better. And the second you start to believe that, it starts to become more true. And sometimes something really simple like playing guitar can make you start to feel better, or just not feel anything for a minute, which in a way is feeling better, you know? I don't really know who this is for. Maybe it's just for me. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this. I mean, I hope so. And I hope if you do, it's helpful. And I want everyone to feel better. I don't think playing an F chord is going to make everyone feel better, but maybe just feeling like you can start to do something about it. Okay, I've been talking for like almost 10 minutes, so I think I'm going to stop.